Hello, hello. I'm super excited to be talking about some real talk today about some big leaps in life and business. So thank you guys for joining. This is the beginning of my day here in Hong Kong, but I know this is reaching many of you guys on the West Coast at 8:30 p.m. on the West Coast, even a little later if you're on the East Coast. So I'd love to even just get an initial shout out from where all over the world you guys are joining. Just put in the comments below about where you're joining from. Let's get a little check-in. So what city, what country? New York, nice, you're up late watching some periscopes, I love it. Here in Hong Kong, it is 11:30. I've already had 2 client calls this morning that went great, and another call with an organizer for a conference that I'm doing in Portland soon, North Carolina. Nice, nice. So I am really excited today to talk about courageous big leaps, and essentially Mike and the influencers crew brought me on here because I have taken some really big, bold leaps in my life, and would love to hear who out there who feels like, yeah, 10x, right? Definitely. Thank you. That's a really great metaphor. So big, bold leaps are big. We all have them. It's really honestly one thing that all of us have in common is that we're humans on this earth, and we're all faced with big challenges and things that feel really scary. But the good news is when there's something like, in you, right, that keeps knocking at your door, that you want to go out there and create, you want to do, and it's terrifying. Most of the time, it's like that butterflies in your stomach, but it's also like almost getting sick because you're like, shoot, I missed that last question. If you want to say it, to type it again. But just wanting to really give you guys some props in terms of, just showing up here and playing even with this new technology. Sorry, I have this awesome little stand. I'll see if I can get my thing to stand up. Woohoo! My name is Willo O'Brien, and Willo O'Brien, I am of Willo Loves You. I've created a lot of online programs and courses. Sorry, see if I can get this looking good. And I am an entrepreneur. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have been for like 12, 13, 14 years. I've had several different businesses, and now I primarily do business coaching with visionary entrepreneurs. And one of the threads that I do, not all my clients are entrepreneurs, but one of the threads is that inevitably something's been knocking on their door, something has been calling them. I often work with entrepreneurs specifically who have something coming through. So it's not that they just have like a product that they're buying and selling, but that they really have to get themselves, their own stuff out of the way in order to have their big ideas come out in this world. So that's really courageous. I actually would even be curious if there's any artists and creatives that are joining us today. And if so, if you're a designer, if you're an artist, if you're a writer, if you're a singer, I'd love to hear you say. I work with a lot of other coaches. I even work with some healers and channelers and some things like that. So talk about, getting yourself out of your own way. Nice. So gallery director we've got. I'm actually working with one of my clients right now is about to completely take off and open up a theater and, really follow her dream of doing more writing. Nice, some artists, especially if you're following this at influencers, because I know Mike is a big fan of art. We both were really huge into the music scene and the art scene in San Francisco. I spent 18 years in San Francisco, and now I'm in Hong Kong. Took a very big, bold leap out here. So I'd love to hear from you guys. Is anyone out there on the precipice of a big, bold leap? And from Bangladesh, I love that. That's awesome. Just in SF. No, SF is very cool. It's not just in SF. About to be back there in a few weeks, and I can't wait to be back for the fresh air. I'll actually give you guys a tour while we're here I'm still in my house, but later today I'm actually going to keep filming a few periscopes throughout the day, and I'm actually going to take you out on the streets of Hong Kong. So when I'm chatting, you'll be able to also see some fun stuff. But I can even show you out my window right now, which is, you know, definitely very, very Hong Kong. So here we go. So this is out my window. We used to have a beautiful, beautiful tree there. I don't know if you guys heard the news, but it had fallen. So this is very typical Hong Kong, that literally out my window is just skyscrapers upon skyscrapers. As far as the eye can see. Taxis. Not focusing all that well. We don't have a view of the water, but it would be directly out there if we did. It's like we just moved some of those. But yeah, it's pretty fun. It's really, really wild to live in another country after 18 years in San Francisco and being born and raised in Colorado. Bangladesh. I could use to come visit Bangladesh. Yeah. So let's talk about big, bold leaps. That's what we're talking about today. And I mostly want to talk about, you know, finding that courage. And so for any of you guys who have big ideas that are coming through you, or you're wanting to take a big leap, maybe you're dissatisfied in your job, or you have had this idea knocking on your door, that's something that I want to have you all really notice, is if there's been a big idea knocking on your door, or there's been something that just keeps kind of whispering in your ear that says, you know, follow me, like, let's do this, but you're kind of scared, you keep ignoring it. These are all the things that you really need to be listening to. And so this is what I help my clients with, is helping them get to the heart of the matter, really getting them out of their own way is the biggest thing, is getting them out of their own way and helping them get clear on like the why that's at the heart of that. Because inevitably the why is really about having you feeling like you're living your life to the fullest. You know, the alternative, right, if you don't take these big, bold leaps that are calling your name and whispering to you, the alternative is that you're stuck, you feel stuck, you might feel a little lost, you might feel a little dissatisfied, and that ultimately you have this sense that there's just more. There's more out there, there's more in life to do and experience. So I'd love to hear from you. Any of you on the precipice of something, maybe you just took a big, bold leap that took a lot of courage. Share that with us. Type it in the comments. If you even know people who have taken big, bold leaps, or you even want to applaud it, you know, maybe tap the screen to give some hearts and give a little energy to the group of just like, hell yeah, let's hear it for big, bold leaps. You're launching a new gallery. That's awesome. And that's in San Francisco, launching a new gallery in San Francisco. That is super massive. I know a lot of the people in the art scene there in San Francisco, so that's big. Nice. Thanks for the hearts and the love. I'm going to share with you guys so that you know and that you have it, and especially for those who are just joining, but basically so that you have, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that that's a dead market, that this is where you can find me. If you just are joining this Periscope for a little bit and you're wanting to know, like, who's this girl again? Multitasking while you're on your computer, then you know who this is and what this is up to. Thanks for the love. I'm loving it. Hi, Eric, or Arik. So talking about big, bold leaps, one of the things I would recommend if you are on the precipice of a big, bold leap, the first thing that I have any of my clients do is to write down your whys. So why must you do this? And there's a fantastic book out there that my friend Elle wrote that is called Choose Must, I think it's called. And so for any of you guys who are on the precipice, I often will just say, you know, what's your why? What is, like, why must you do this? And this is really important, to create a list of essentially why must you do this? Like, because it's coming through you. It's going to keep knocking on your door no matter what. The other thing is just to also get out of your comfort zone. It's amazing how often we just stay in our comfort zone because it's safe. Right? It's completely safe, like no one's pressuring. And what's funny is that you can even be in your comfort zone doing really well. I mean, maybe that makes sense because it's comfort zone, but you can be in your comfort zone doing really well, already making 6 figures, like no problem. And that you find your comfort zone even with like, this modem of success where it actually looks like you're pretty successful. So you're like, why should I try any harder? This is fine. But there's always a next level that you can reach. Or it could be that you're so used to the security of a job and you're so used to, just simply how you've been living your life so far, maybe where you're living in the house or the city or the apartment with the person, that all of those things are just so comfortable you wouldn't want to change. So again, as humans, no matter where you are in the world, we share this really common thing. So I heard that someone's opened an art gallery, and I'm definitely hearing that you guys are down with this premise of just do it. And I'd be curious to hear if anyone else, while if you're just joining, or you're willing to share and be vulnerable, to just share, where are you at? What are you going for? So that's my one big tip, is to write down your list of whys. It's deceptively simple, but honestly, it is your foundation. It's like an anchor that basically when things start feeling really scary, as they inevitably will whenever you're trying to get yourself out of a comfort zone, is that if you have that solid list that you can come back to, it's your must. And it comes from such a primal place. Because if you've ever been in a place where you're really unhappy or you're dissatisfied or you're feeling kind of just like, surely there's more to this life, or you do have this deep down thought inside that like, I know I can do this. You can see it, you can taste it. So basically all of those things are such a great example of why you need to create this list that's like your anchor then when things start freaking out. So yeah, you're wanting to start I would love that. I love Turkish and Mediterranean food. Please do that in Hong Kong. That would be fantastic. The restaurant industry here is really interesting. My boyfriend is actually a chef, and that's the reason that we came here. I can work from anywhere around the world, but we're here because he's a chef. So we've gotten very, very familiar with the world here, the chef world. So what would be another step in terms of making a courageous, big, bold leap in your life? So given that there's the coddling of comfort, and recognizing that it's so easy to be so comfortable, given that you might want to make this leap, but it's really, really scary, what might be another challenge that you feel like is almost insurmountable as you take a big, bold leap? A huge one that I see over and over and over again is with my clients that they just feel like they're doing it all alone, that they don't have anyone to do it with. So if any of you guys, hey again, my musician friend, so great. Thanks for all the love. Keep tapping those hearts. So another one is just recognizing, that you might feel kind of alone in the process. And so I want to address that because, especially as big idea people or those who are venturing out for an above average life, it can feel sometimes a little bit alone or scary, or you don't know where to start or where to go. I am a coach, and so this is precisely what I work with people on. But more than that, no matter where you are, you guys can actually create these communities of support for yourself. So whether you choose to hire a coach or a consultant or someone to walk you through it, you can also so I'll give you a few examples of how I have created support around me. And these are all free you can do, or you can hire professional support, which I'm a big fan of because it's great to be able to hire a professional who's going to help, get you through the steps, depending on what it is, obviously. So a few other ways besides maybe getting a coach or consultant that's going to be able to walk with you in that process and feel supportive, is you can even hire an assistant if this is a business. You can always contact me. Actually, go to Willo Tunes. Willo Tunes. This is my old business. lovesyou.com. And actually, I'm just even Willo at willolovesyou.com. So that's where you can contact me and find me. There's a contact form on my website as well. I figured it was more interesting than willoobrien.com. So some key ways. So I'm going to share with you some key ways right now. Number one, I'll give you some examples and you can totally form these to you. So you can create a mastermind. You can say, hey, I'm starting this thing, or I'm wanting to do something that's like a big leap and I'm kind of scared. Is anyone else in the same position? Or maybe it's a specific thing, right? Like that's specifically with the art gallery, or for you, I know Ural Bobo, I don't know how to say your name, that you're a musician. And so maybe you want to create a mastermind with other musicians, and that'll help keep you guys accountable. It'll help keep you all accountable for like, okay, I'm going to write this song, or I'm going to get this show, or I'm going to do this. And then you all can start supporting each other. So I'm in a mastermind right now where literally we're all over. I'm in Hong Kong, one is in Thailand, one's in Cape Town, South Africa, and the other woman, she actually travels all around. Last she was in Berlin, then she went to Uganda. So really, really fun to create yourself a mastermind where you're committed. There's lots of guidance online too about how you can create a mastermind. So you can just search the web for how to create a mastermind. So that's really, really powerful way of receiving support. One-on-one support with a coach or consultant is fantastic. Two other ways. Are you ready? So again, I'm going to share with you what I've done. You can model these and map them to whatever you'd like to do. I am a part of a Power of 10 dinner club here in San Francisco, and in Hong Kong. I'm in Hong Kong now, and I'm doing this Power of 10 dinner club where I invite, it's technically 10 women, but we actually like to keep it to 8 just so that we can have really high quality conversations. But yeah, exactly. It's the 10x. It's like the power of 10, and recognizing that these people come together to support each other and the ripple effect that can come from that. So about once a month, I invite 8 women entrepreneurs to gather around, and we all share what our challenges are, what our wins are, and then inevitably just the creation of that, the formation of that is that we want to support each other, and we have gotten tied into each other's vision and heart enough to where we're like, okay, what's next? How can I help you? So the other one that I have for you is that something I did in San Francisco, and I kind of do them here as well. I actually here am the liaison for the Wisdompreneurs group. So I'm the Hong Kong liaison for Wisdompreneurs, and what that is essentially anyone who's interested in the intersection of wisdom and entrepreneurship and conscious entrepreneurship. So I've been doing those gatherings, like gathering amazing people. And then in San Francisco, this was a really fun one that I did, and it's kind of similar to what I'm doing here with the meetups already, but you can totally steal this idea, which is for entrepreneurs in particular, is that I just put together like a potluck where every single month I did a potluck. Mine was called Feeding Founders. And it was all about how like we're putting our hearts and souls into our businesses, but sometimes when you're at the beginning or no matter where you are, you actually aren't even really, like it's like the whole ramen metaphor where you're just eating ramen and you're not really feeding yourself. So to really be able to bring people together was like, talk about feeding like not only your belly with this delicious, wholesome food, but then also feeding your mind and your heart, being able to have the conversation with other entrepreneurs that are in the same place, or, you know, other art gallery owners or artists, people that are other musicians, whatever your business may be, like gathering some like minds for some support. And what I do in almost all of my gatherings is that I'll have one grounding question. So a grounding question might be, you know, what are you learning right now? Or what's a learning edge for you right now? What are you kind of noticing is coming up for you that you're like, I could really use some support with this? Another grounding question I've used is even just, what are you celebrating? And it's just a way to get one step past the small talk, you know, of like, what do you do? It's like when you can ask somebody, like, what are they celebrating? So I'd love to even hear with you guys, you know, right now, like, what are you celebrating? I hear that, you know, one of you is opening up a new gallery soon. That's like major and awesome. And I'd love to even hear, you know, what challenges you have. I know it's late in your time there, but I'll be recording throughout the day. So if you want to keep asking questions, you're more than welcome to, or you can always hit me up on Twitter or something and ask a question as well. So basically what I've assembled for you is like ways to support yourself through your big, bold stuff. Unlearning about networking. You're learning about networking. Awesome. Yeah, networking is great. And learning to be able to like, and that's, I mean, networking is a really great example, right, of like gathering around like minds, being able to receive that support, like finding new potential clients, finding the person that you want to meet. And I'll give you a tip right there, actually, for all of you, no matter where you are, which is define, like create a vision for who you want to bring into your life. So if you're wanting to create a community of people around you, if you're wanting to even create new clients around you, write a wish list for what that community looks like, who this person looks like. Maybe you want to bring a partner into your business, and so you want that support. And so, okay, write the wish list of what this partner looks like. Do they have a great sense of humor? Do they have a great taste in music? Like, you can get really, really specific about like what you want to be around. Maybe you want to define like no drama, or maybe you have a certain person in your life that really embodies this already. And you can actually write on the list, like, man, if we just had like a Bryn in this situation, someone like that has like this and this characteristic and this quality that you can really like emotionally sense into and visualize having on your team, or as a friend, or what have you. The person that you're wanting to, I'm saying, who do you want to magnetize in your life? What support do you want to magnetize in your life? So when you think about what you need, whether it be to make this big, bold leap or create a new business, what do you need? And that's like actually a really common thing that we forget to clarify, of like, what support do you need? So, and that's like one of my first questions that I ask all my clients is, what support do you need in this process? What support do you need to be successful, or just to feel great, or to take the next step, or to receive the support that you're looking for, the guidance for the next step? Our relationships and the people in our life, this Periscope is such a great example of that, is that the relationships in our life are paramount. That's how we find new business. It's where we get ideas. It's how we feel heard and seen and appreciated. So for you to be magnetizing the support that you want in your life, for whatever it is, whatever big, courageous, bold move that you're doing. So first, for you to identify, these are, your musts that nobody else can define for you. And then assemble a supportive community. So whether you do that one-on-one with somebody, or form a mastermind, do a dinner club, or do like potlucks and meetups of some sort, so to really gather the people around you. And that is going to be your big support. Your list of whys will be your anchor and your tether, and then the people around you will help remind you, like, hey, this is why you're doing this, remember. And when you need to get out of your own way, you can go to those people and be like, this is a great question. When you're stuck in it and you're mired in it, you can go to that support team and say, what am I not seeing? What am I not seeing in this situation? And even by you just talking it out to somebody can sometimes help you self-coach yourself through. So I'm going to finish up this one, like I said, a little bit later, in a few hours. I don't have really a set time, but if you're subscribed to the influencers, you'll be able to see it. You'll also be able to watch replays for the next 24 hours. And so I welcome your questions. And before we complete today, if anyone has any final questions, I welcome it. But in the meantime, I'll show you my details one more time. And I obviously definitely welcome any of you guys to reach out at any time. I'm stoked that you guys are a part of this influencers channel, just so because, clearly you're wanting to learn and discover more from different people. So here are my details one more time. I've got my trusty little marker, and it's been really, really super fun chatting with you guys. Yeah, thank you so much, and we will see you in a few hours.